Hello everyone and welcome back to Village Life. In the last one we got Penelope pregnant, we started gathering all the items for the sandstone fire and the workspace number 2 or level 2, so we have 2 spaces to work on. Yay! So, what we'll be doing in this episode is actually start building that as well as unlocking a lot of items, because we in the meanwhile have unlocked the fencing dummy and the gathering of clay, or clay in here basically, so now we can gather it. So we will also be building the fencing dummy, because we can see Alma, which has now grown into a young child. First of all, she wants a new home, because toddlers don't need a sleeping space apparently, but the adults do. Or children do, at least. So basically, I think we'll start off with marking where we want the fencing dummy to be. And I just clicked on her wish, and then it instantly pops up. And I think we'll place it next to the dance area, because not quite sure why. We have to create a tin hammer for that, so we'll be gathering some tin, and meanwhile we are doing that, we will start building the sandstone fire place. Campfire. See, it says Campfires too there. They change the name all the time, I don't understand. And let's have Eli do that, since that his wife Penelope is ready to give birth, so we have an extra worker in the mist in a very short time, and now I can't seem to find her. I had her on the screen just a little while. There we go. Now here is a thing. I'm pretty sure this is a thing. Don't call me on that if they actually fixed that, or is it still a little funny bug. But if you click on her and want her to give birth now, give birth, she's gonna give birth to the little, was it a boy or a girl? I can't even remember, because it's now a couple of days since I last played this game, because I was waiting. And no! Notifications! I forgot to turn on my notification, or turn off my notification. Anyway, we need to figure out a Danish... No, let's just skip through names and see if we can find one who's actually good. Edmund. Ooh, that's like the Narnia stories, the original Narnia stories. I love them. We call him Edmund. That's fair. We have a Eli and Edmund. That's fair. So, it's a baby boy, and as far as I remember, he was 2-star. Oh, it's not... Oh, sorry. The thing I thought was that if Eli went to her while giving birth, that he would be stopped crafting. But that's not actually the case, it's the other way around. If the women are working on something and they actually manage to get pregnant, you will be instantly done with the item. Which I just forgot, since I haven't played this game for a while. And I don't know if that's still a thing or not, I'm not quite sure. But I can see they want some water gathered. We can have Morgan do that. And as well, let's go and see how far are we with the tin. It's fine. Okay, let's go in and unlock some items, because we can actually unlock a lot of things today, because as you see on my gem count, just because I've been away for approximately 40 hours or so from the game, there was the daily, and as well there was a ton of commercials today. I do not know why, but there was. So I have a ton of gems that we can actually spend a little to give a little, or to get a little as well. So actually, if we walk into the which one was it? Oh yeah, if we walk into the housing departments, we can see the mud shelter. And I don't get why I didn't do this before, because this only takes a minute to unlock. Which is so foolish of me not to remember, because it actually has 6 sleeping spaces, so you don't overcrowd your whole woodland area with small shelters. So let's create or unlock the mud shelter, since it only takes a minute, it's quite easy. As well as if we go into the resources. Now we can see that we can unlock blackberries and pears, and blackberries would take 8 hours, as you can see now. And I'm just gonna skip that, because one, 8 gems for 8 hours, that's a gem per hour. I can live with that. As well as if we go into... It's actually funny that something takes 8 hours, it takes 8 gems to unlock, but if it takes 2 hours, it takes 5 gems. Interesting enough. Anyway, but we will unlock this instantly as well, because it's a very cheap unlocking, we can live with that. And let's see, what should we else start unlocking? I think, as far as I remember, the sandstone fire uses birch. So we should actually start unlocking that instantly. Or... instantly? Should we? Should we? Could we? I feel like just spending today, that's really horrible. But since it takes a day for the sandstone fire to be done, and we don't really need birch for anything else, we can just begin unlocking it. And if this... when we got back to... if I get... me and speaking is always a problem. Anyway, if I get back and the sandstone fire is done, but the birch isn't done unlocking, I will finish it instantly at that point. Now, are we done with the tin? Almost, which is perfect. There we go. Oh, what do we need to delete? Let's just delete that single little pine so we can get in some tin. Yes. And so we can create the tin hammer. And that would take 3 minutes, which is really nice. I like the small time because that's manageable and kind of plannable. I was about to say plannable as well before, but I forgot. Yeah. My memory is still very bad, unfortunately. Anyway, if we just go into the little flower bidders, we actually were starting unlocking with trying to get seeds and such. You guys have actually helped me far enough to actually be able to create the flower bed. That means we're going to have a little beauty to our village, a little decor. I should actually also look at the decors so you can see what kind of decors we can have. But now we just have a lot of other things to just look at first. Let's see. We could actually just look at the cores just for a second to show you off what it actually like. Because if you go to, so just clicked on this little wagon, sales wagon, we have this beautiful woman who is actually selling a lot of different decors, and some of it will cost money, the rest of it will cost or gems, depending on so much. But there's everything between path structures, animals you can have walking around, or just adding to everything, adding to flare up your area. We could also have different kind of flowers or other items laying around, pottery, decors of such, as well as you can actually buy outfits, certain outfits for your characters, if that is what you desire. Now, I've actually thought of this many times because some of these kind of look very Gaelic, or either Gaelic or Celtic, and I'm very much into that type of style with medievals and such. I love that. I simply love that. I also love that music, which I've stated before. And we actually done building the flower bed just by showing you that little extra thing, and we got, I think it's 25 gems for building it, because it was a little quest thing. But I think we will move it up here to have a little flair between the houses, you know, to like have a little small garden some sorts. There we go. That looks semi-nice. Or should we maybe put it here next to the deer, so it has something pretty to look at until we can actually help it at level 25 as far as I remember. Oh, my memory is somewhat okay then. But it has some pretty things to look at while we can help it, because it kind of stuck in a thorn bush, something. And we also done building the tin hammer, so let's start building the fencing dummy, which is a plaything. That would take an hour. That's okay. That's fair. It is as it should be. And we should also be done unlocking the mud shelter. And I think we should actually build one of those around here. Just not to clutter up all the areas. Why didn't... Oh, maybe I put it in the wrong place or something. Oh, it's because I can't place it there. Okay. Need to place it there then. And then we need some mud, obviously. So we have Fallon create let's have her create some mud. No, let's have her collect the mud because she reduces the time quite a bit. As well as Penelope kind of wants blackberries, so let's collect some blackberries, which is over next to the theater. And our pine box has died out. So we will have but isn't she? No, she's not. She was the one who wanted it. Okay. It's just me that was a little... wasn't she the one that collected it here? We will have Penelope creating the pine box, so we have that in check again. So we're sure that we have it. I actually think when the events start coming, I should just stack up on a lot of tools because they use up tools pretty fast. And we also need another type. We also need another go at mud because it was 15, so we need a little more than that. We could also skip it with 2 gyms, but I don't bother with that. But with being done with unlocking the mud shelter, we have actually completed all the things we can unlock in the housing departments. We can still unlock a lot in the fire department as well as the water department, as you can see here, or at the wells. I haven't done unlocking those yet because the wells I don't see as completely necessary as of yet. Especially if you play it a lot, you don't really need the wells as much as you would. On the other hand, if you're far from the game or you are absent from it for like hours, it's a good way to get the amount of water that you need for the game and then being absent at the same time, and then it kind of equals out. But if you are in the game constantly or for like hours or just have it running in the background, it would be more useful for you to just collect the water at the river, because it only takes like 30 minutes compared to maybe hours of the same amount of water. So kind of it's a kind of a touch and feel kind of thing. You can also see we have unlocked all of the things in the fun department of the bigger items. And what do we have? And also in the handhold items. Do we actually have some baby stuff we can unlock? No, we have also unlocked everything there. So so basically the only things we can unlock so far is one more plot at the farm where we need elm, as well as we can unlock one more wood shop area, which we will do. So we will unlock these 2 areas, or 2. Yeah, I call it areas because it's kind of like boxes that goes down. If it's evolving items or something. But we can go into this area or to the mined items because we have unlocked everything in the foraging department. We have unlocked everything in the farm department because we just started that out, and the next thing we can unlock is at level 6. And we are not at that level yet. So we are already unlocking something at the gathered department. And since you already are unlocking something there, you can't unlock more items than one thing at a time. If you click there, you can see it wants to quickly unlock this process if you want to unlock the other items. So, together with unlocking the birch, I will actually start unlocking the limestone, because the next campfire or something, is a limestone fire. So we'll just starting getting that done. How far are we actually with the farmhouse? We're actually almost only 23 hours away to actually unlock that. So that's fantastic. That means we can start building that tomorrow, which is fantastic. So we are doing a very good process around this, and let's start building the much shelter here, so we are sure that Sebastian and Elma has something to move into. As you can see, they don't really have any housing. They wish for housing, as you can see. We can move them into the same cottage as Fallon, but I just kind of want them to move in with as them being twins. I don't like to separate them. I don't know why. I think it's a typical thought about twins should not be separated. But there's also pairs of twins that cannot agree on anything and they're kind of worried towards each other. That is also the cases. Some are inseparate. You can't separate them from each other. And some you have to separate. Else it's all out family war. I know both types of twins personally, so that's interesting. Oh, I bumped the monk. I'm very sorry about that. The last thing we can do is actually start building the workshop 2, or the level 2 workshop, so we have 2 workspaces to work on, which is very nice. And that would also take a day, so basically we're going to be able to finish up a lot of things tomorrow, which is nice. So we will have Penelope do that. And we still have Fallon to finish off that. And gathering food and resources. I will usually not show all the time that I'm gathering because it's not really needed, and I can't comment on it what I have gathered, because if you go into the food storage here, you can see I gather quite a bit before I start recording, and I can actually make space for the pears also. The 3 there. There we go. So the blackberries and the pears are the last fully thing we can collect and put into the food storage. So the pears are over here, by the way, near the ancient area. Oh yeah, I talked about I couldn't find a guy that actually wanted some food or some soup and gives you the other part of the map. Oh no, spoilers, but if you've seen the old playthrough, you will probably know by now. I forgot it was down here. I was just so confused because there was a door there and looked like stairs up there, so it confused me a lot on that department. So I thought he was not even there anymore. I thought he wasn't a part of the game, and he was so funny and so it was kind of like, oh, he's not there anymore, but he is, which is nice. And we have little Astrid that walks around there. She looks like she's a happy little go-getter. And we should also just lighten the fire just a little bit here. But we can't as far right now because we kind of put all our characters into work here. So that's how it goes. You know what? I'm gonna finish this quickly. And actually it could be interesting to move Morgan, Austin, Elma and Sebastian together because they're kind of like family and they were our first family. So let's put those guys together in their little hut, and then we have lots of place up here for new young families, like new pairs and such here, where maybe the larger houses are housing plots are for the families. And now over here in the what they call near the amethyst area, there will be quest or event items going on. So I don't want to cover that up with items or housing departments. But let's see here. Can I actually move it while it's being built? No, I can't. Okay. Because it could be interesting if I could move the housing department up next to the storage area and then push it a little out, and then we have like housing different places with different interests. Maybe also build a shelter near here if there's spots or space for it, because then we have like the farming family, the building family, the gathering family, all these kind of helpful things you have in the forest or woods. Forest woods is kind of the same thing over here. And what does it say here? Oh, it's because I haven't clicked off the notifications. I was kind of like, oh, have I got requests here? No, unfortunately not. Anyway, I think we are at the point where we can be today. So we can just quickly turn on the fire. Or Apparently not. I'm so happy that Fallon is such an easygoing girl and we have a full gatherer. We might lose her when she come of age and she's adult and she's gonna be married. We might lose her then, but as far as we have her right now, she's really handy. Let's go here. And oh, be careful that you don't press finish. Anyway, we will have Fallen just light the campfire, and then we are at a good point where we can end off today and be relaxed and know everything that we're doing in this village is going to be great as of yet, indeed. But until next time, guys, or until tomorrow, take care. Have a great day.